Islamic science tumbles into materialism. The notion that the Dark Ages was a product of the Catholic Church is supported by the fact that these very Dark Ages were not really about ages. They were not even really dark in a common earth-encompassing sense. They were more about space than time, because south and east of the Dark Age space of the Catholic Church, Islamic science evolved and thrived. Islamic scholars indeed had access to the ancient Greek texts and did what was prohibited in Europe. They translated the old texts into their spoken languages, preferable Old Arabic and Iranian tongues. Already Emperor Justinian I had in 529 closed the Greek schools of philosophy based on Aristotle and Plato in Athens, and thus paved the way for the Pope. Interestingly, Julian did not close the similar schools in Constantinople, Antioch, and Alexandria, although they also were under his jurisdiction. Hence, the Christian Roman emperor seemingly incidentally, or maybe radical suspicion of geopolitical intention monitoring is allowed here, throttled the European scientific development and built the foundations of an Islamic such. Already around the year 1000, Islamic science had by far exceeded the achievements of ancient Greek natural philosophy, and it evolved with an astonishing pace. For instance, in physics, several elements of Newton's laws, which he proudly developed around the year 1700, were discovered and described in the 11th century by Islamic scholars. In the West, we are proud of Leonardo da Vinci and his indigenous spirit. Although he could not develop his ideas in matter, he did so on paper. Well, a lot of his concepts were already invented and actually in daily use in Arabic areas 600 years prior to his descriptions. A vertical axis wind wheel is known to have been in use 2,000 years ago, presumably in Persia. The spinning wheel is an Islamic invention from 1,000 years ago and was not introduced in Europe until some centuries later. As early as 850, the Banu Musa brothers from Baghdad wrote a book full of inventions that will still today blow most people's minds. How about a hydraulic-driven spring that, through the use of conic valves, switches between a singlet and a shield? Or how about a hydro-powered organ playing different pre-programmed music pieces automatically? This is not written in order to instigate admiration for Islamic science. The important thing to notice is that the Islamic world was far ahead, and that the Catholic Church not only made it happen, but brutally crushed any attempt to keep the golden band of science from ancient times alive. A big difference seems to lie in the fact that the Islamic people easier bought into materialism than did the Europeans. Only very slowly, during the period of time called the Renaissance, modern science was drip-fed through Islamic influence, and not the least through the reign of the Moors in Spain. In retrospect, how do Muhammad add up in all of this? Well, he may not have been the best scholar of the world. In some respects, he may even have hindered the spread of the new science in order to preserve people's good faith. And yet, Islamic science continued to flourish for almost a millennium after he perished. As of today, the Islamic world seems to be less ingenious and rather dogmatic, which may be a long-term influence of this. And so we see the Muslim world first fall prey to materialism and then decay into dogmatism. Did you have any thought about this whilst listening? Do me a favor, write a comment below.